So when people first start, they're basically hitting with the whole hand, so which means they're hitting with the bottom three knuckles, and that's all spread out. So if I reduce that target area, then on a smaller area like the middle knuckle, then that's going to give more power. If I then reduce that to a smaller area, to maybe a quarter of the knuckle, that's what I'm aiming at, and the furthest I can get round wherever it allows me, if the thumb's out, then I'll be here. If I can bring the thumb back, then I can bring the elbow right up and further round on this middle knuckle. The further I can get round on that middle knuckle, the harder, the more power the punch will be. That is like a power dial. So low power down here, and maximum power is up here. So with a boxing glove you will not get on that angle, particularly if you drop it in, because you just don't not get on that angle. So got the light snap, and again what I'm doing is I'm trying to dig the knuckle in and pull it back. And so if I say I'm going to hit in and I'm hitting in this far, if I've then got boxing gloves on, maybe I'll be going in that far because of the depth and the extra thickness of the glove, because I'm not punching him with the glove, I'm punching him with my knuckles through the glove. So a light snap, and the faster I pull my hand back, the much more snap and the much more impact is on the end. Now, here's a really fascinating bit now. People can spend years learning body mechanics. And you can learn any other part of a strike and it won't make any difference. But if you learn the end first, i.e. shockwaves, then your body will fill in the gaps. Now, there's a lot to think about when I'm punching. So if I put myself in a guard, say from here, and then once I've practice the light snap, then all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my hand in a guard, and then I'm going to come out and I'm going to try and do a light snap, and I'm not going to think about the mechanics in between. And the body fills it in basically. I mean, you've got the head, the hips and the legs and the arms, and they are the main things that make any difference with power. If you understand how to finish the shot, then that's finished with enough power. All you need to do is get your hand there to do that bit at the end. The bit in the middle is really irrelevant if you're not doing anything when you land. And then when you understand that bit on the end, it's everything. So with the boxing gloves, now this is where the cleave came from. Now in the boxing gloves you can only cleave. And this is what I'm talking about, the shocks at the end. But you can do a light cleave, a deep cleave, and a ripping cleave. So, say with a boxing glove, so what I call a light snap, a light boxing snap, what happens is when I pull this back, this knuckle digs down in a curve like this, in an angle. So as I hit in there, as I pull this back and I dig in, the energy goes in. Same with coming up. Now, I'm not pushing anything back there, I'm knocking it in to the target, and that's what you want to hurt them. If I hit someone in that target coming down there, then it's going to twist, rotate the head much more than it would if I just sort of hit them, because it'd knock them back. There's be energy lost because the head's moving back. I want the energy to go in the target, down the spine, into the body, rotate the head. So with the cleave, I can do all the snaps. Now, when I do the light snap in the cleave, now, because of the gloves and because you're hitting with the outside, this is why you have to cleave. And the difference is, when I'm hitting with the kinetic, I'm on these two knuckles here, the kinetic cleave stays on target a lot longer and it's a lot more powerful. So up to 60% with a straight punch, and that's a massive difference. So with the boxing cleave, I'm making that movement. When I hit in deep, when I snap in deep, I'm doing the same cleave, but I'm cleaving in deeper, and my head tends to drive over the opposite leg and it stays there a little longer rather than popping in and out like my hand does when I'm doing the snap. Now with the ripper, as I'm coming in there, I'm digging in and I'm ripping off at 45 degrees, either towards my hip, depending which way I'm hitting, or towards my other hand, so I can then hit straight back. But it's still that same motion that goes in, or if I'm hitting to the body, or I'm hitting up to the liver, or the ribs, or under the ribs, then it's that sort of position. But I don't want to move them back. I want to put the energy into them, and that's how you do that. So the more you understand about the snap, the more you understand about the deep snap, and the more you understand about the rip. So if I put myself in a position here now, I'll put myself in a guard, and I think I'll do a ripping, I'll rip off with this punch. So rather than doing like a jab sort of thing, or a straight, then I'm gonna rip the punch off. Now if I start here and then I come out and rip the punch off, then what I get is I get like an overhand. If I start here and turn and I bring the hand out more here, and then I hit and I rip off, that's exactly what you naturally do with a hook. Now if I then take this straight shot, or this straight jab, straight light snap that I'd normally put on the jab, and then I put the cleave on that, what I'm then doing is putting the ripping shockwave has 70% more power than the light snap. So then when I rip in with that and I drive the cleave in, the cleave is just above the deep snap, then that's significantly more powerful than just a basic snapping jab, and that makes a massive difference in power. So it's all about understanding them different shockwaves and training them. The more you train them and you understand where you start from, the middle bit will be filled in. It is actually that simple. But you can train any other part of a strike and it won't make that much difference. But you train the end, the bit on the end, because you know how to finish it then. And that's distance, timing. It fills in everything else. Now, what I'm showing you here with the shockwaves is exactly like Connor McGregor hits now when he's punching. He's digging in that little knuckle at the end, and he's really sharp with the shockwaves. Now that could be because he's spent hours training it. He could be a natural at certain parts. He might have natural traits and be particularly good at certain parts of that snap. He's just picked up the snap training like everybody else, but he's training longer and doing more on his own to get an understanding of it, and that's how you really understand the punch yourself. So if I'm hitting bare knuckle here, then if I put a glove on, then I'm not punching the same. I've got to punch in 2 inches deeper than that. So if I had a glove on now and I wanted to hit with the same sort of power there, then that's a light snap, but I'd be snapping in deeper to allow for the extra foam, because I've got to compress that to get through. It's only like I see the gloves as padding on somebody, and if I'm hitting him, it's like they've got a fat belly. I'm hitting through the fat and I'm aiming for the particular target in the body or the head. So have a little look with that. Now, the more you train them snaps, the more you isolate them, the more it'll make any difference with any strike, any kind of punch, any kind of slap, open hand palm, kick, elbow, whatever you kind of you throw. When you understand that snap just with one punch, then it'll be a massive step up across the board, because you'll use it in the other punch, you'll use it in your elbow, you'll be using it in your kicks, and much less energy used. So now with Connor, I've noticed he tends to get quite angry, and he uses quite an angry, it's quite an aggressive breath. Now he's had energy issues, and I'd say that is one big thing, is the breathing. Now if I'm angry, and when I hit when I'm angry, there's a load of energy lost. I can stay relaxed and then be angry right at the end, just on the end, just for that split second, and I don't need to be angry. I just need to have intent. I just need to be able to hurt. I want to hurt it. I don't want to be angry at it. Angry wastes energy. So I want to be focused and I want to hurt the target, not be angry.